what do Betboom want to look towards to find out for the final hero here? Because Betboom, we know, like say, we've seen a lot of different heroes being picked up for Betboom in this core role. So, is there anything that stands out here that goes well with what Betboom already have and plays well with that tree in the lane?
I like the Ursa, to be honest. Because it's gonna be a okay, they go for the Slark. It's gonna be a 2 melee versus 2 melee lane. So you want Ursa, Slark, or the Monkey King, right? So they go with the Slark. It actually makes more sense given that you're playing against the Drow. The reason I maybe would have been okay with the Ursa is because it gives you Roche potential. But Betboom probably think if we take down the tier 1 in the enemy safe lane, the mid tier 1, then with the next exorcism we can take the Roche. So they thought they didn't need the extra Roche damage, which is okay. With the Slark, they have potential for stronger potential for the late game, especially against the Drow Ranger, and this hero has been considered the Drow Ranger counter. Plus, when you look at the other side, they have no lockdown for the Slark, like literally no lockdown. What Avalanche, Walrus Punch, those aren't really spells that are gonna help you with dealing with the hero.
Yeah, and guys, don't forget, if you want to visit our sponsors over at EGB, you can see the odds on the screen there. You do get a bonus deposit up to $600 with your first deposit. That is available over at EGB. If you want to check us out, and again, you can see the odds coming through there. Betboom, a little bit more favorite than Navi in these current odds, because Betboom, I mean, why wouldn't you? You know, one of the favorites to win the entire season. Navi, not really been performing up to the Navi name. They are 1-3, I think, so far. Down there with Virtus Pro. I mean, even Darkseid are 2-3. Namiga and One Move both 0-4. But yeah, at the minute, the favorite does go to Betboom in this series, and I don't think that I don't know, with the way you played yesterday, Betboom, you looked really impressive, even going through that 70-minute match. You know, to me, they do stand out as the favorites coming into this series.
Yeah, they definitely are. I mean, there's no doubt. I'd say if Navi would outdraft Betboom, or at least have much stronger lanes, I would say, okay, yeah, they have a shot. But for me here, it looks like the laning phase will go in favor of Betboom, or at least it will be even. What I'm looking for in terms of Navi, if they are to have a chance in this game, it's Nicky Cool and his rotations towards the bottom lane. They have to be fast, they have to be efficient, and he has to be back into the mid lane as fast as possible. And while he's doing it, Swedenstrong needs to be in the mid lane, making sure the DP doesn't get the tower down, because it all comes down to this Tusk and him slowing down the Lycan, because you cannot leave the lanes early Navi, and that comes from the Tusk getting early levels and making sure that happens.
Yeah. One question I will ask. Oh, there's gonna be the wraparound coming out from Navi though. Do they actually? Looks like they. I mean, they're gonna be able to get the ward down. So this is gonna be a really nice ward to see if anyone steps into the river here. They are grouped up as 4 heroes. The Lycan away on the side of Betboom as well. So if something breaks out, you know, a 4v4, you can see that laise is already moving himself away as well on the map to just go for the blocks in the off lane, it looks like. But yeah, looking at the Slark, I saw a really interesting Reddit post that said that Slarks, the pros can't decide on what the build is for the Slark. You know, it's different every time someone picks this hero. Every single pro has a different build for this hero. Echo Sabers, Diffusal Blades go straight into the Aghanims. And what is it you think Pure wants to go for in this match? You know, what does the Slark need to prioritize getting his items to in this game?
I personally think that the Slark builds, it's not that the pros can't decide, it's that the Slark has a couple of builds that can be good. Ideally, you want to skip the BKB, right? Ideally, you want to get the second item, Aghanim Scepter, but it can't always go that way. That's the thing, that the game changes. So, I think ideally you want to go for a Diffusal Blade into a Aghanim Scepter, but more realistically, that's if the game is going amazing for you. But more realistically, it's going to be Diffusal Blade, Echo Saber disassembled into an Aghanim Scepter, or disassembled into a BKB if you have an issue. In this game in particular, though, I think Pure could even get away with a Diffusal straight into an Axe.
Yeah, and you can see that Pure, he's not getting shot about coming in for the right clicks, even taking some damage here from the... I mean, laise has gone straight for the Whirling Death at level 1, so Pure, no Timber Chain, and yeah, Pure's just going to be sitting on right click down, trying to get these temporary stacks up on the Slark here. Laise, you know, what the build as well, because the whirling depth coming through at level 1, it's going to deal with the trees as well. For, you know, Toronto-Tokyo trying to sit in the lane. He's going to be taking some harass as well from Swedenstrong. In fact, the body block is not Toronto-Tokyo. He's going to be in a lot of trouble. Yeah, the whirling depth comes through. Toronto-Tokyo, he's trying to do what he can to keep himself alive. The stick charges. Can he get himself away? He can't. Swedenstrong picks up the first blood there. Toronto-Tokyo is way out of position.
And that backhand slap was so long. It's like I'm thinking, does the Tiny have more tank range than the normal melee hero? Not really without the tree, so that was really weird. But yeah, he does get the hit in the end and first blood. Solid amounts of right-click damage. Both him and the tree have very low arm, and then when your HP as a strength hero is being reduced so much, you're always going to be susceptible to going down there.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the bottom lane, there is some harassing coming out here. The trades coming through from both. I mean, Navi having 2 ranged heroes, and Nightfall. Anytime he steps up for a last hit, he is taking some harassment, at least one of them. And Nightfall, yeah, even the curse just being thrown out here onto Nightfall, he has to be careful about the amount of damage he does take. H2O, how's he looking at level 2? So he does have a point into the glaives as well. And he is going to be picking up that intelligence, even just the temporary intelligence, off the right click from those glaives. So it's a decent amount of harass that comes out from the silencer. And even if his right click does get reduced by the Fadefall, you know, he can still trade.
The idea here was just to have 2 heroes that cannot attract a creep aggro and just harass the Lycan before he gets his Helm of the Dominator. Nightfall, he is going to be struggling a little bit in terms of CS until that Helm of the Dom comes. Then it changes for him. It just becomes much easier because you're going to have the extra armor to really sustain the region, to sustain yourself against these 2. They're constantly poking you, but he might be suffering currently, but he's not suffering as much as the Timber. Laise is the one that is really having a bad time into the CS.
Yeah, you can see that he's only got 7 last hits here coming into the offlane, but on the other side, you can see that Drow Ranger having a really nice time on the last hit, and then Drow Ranger is sometimes a hero because of the way the attack animation works, the fact that at level 6, that's your big, like, power spike. But Vichun at the minute, he's got those last hits down here, safe, trying to do what he can to H2O in the lane, and you see that H2O, he's just trading right back into this on the top lane as well. Again, Pure, he's not shy about coming through. Anytime Laise steps forward, Pure just goes in with the right clicks. And again, like you say, 2 melee heroes on the side of Navi. This is what Pure can do. He does get those temporary stacks, which means that the longer that Laise wants to stick around, even if he does have the reactive armor, you know, he's still going to be giving up damage over to Pure. And yeah, Toronto-Tokyo comes in, drops a Liquipedia as well, and all of a sudden Pure has a lot of regen going his way.
But Pure still has to be careful. You're up against the Tiny, who's level 3, so Avatos, you can die, even with the 10 stick charges at the end, the very far. Sometimes you can get surprised, but one thing that we have seen from Betboom thus far is that they're very good at using their spells and items. And Pure, we can see that he's taking some damage, but we'll be fine.
Yeah, has himself a couple of tangos there as well. Getting over to level 4. He had pounces, but just in case he got into danger, he did have that pounce available to. And you can see that Navi, they were looking to get in front of him. They were looking to, you know, stop that pounce away to the tier 1 tower, just in case they could potentially get off that first blood. Toronto-Tokyo as well with the native draft, just being able to pull the creeps right back through, so not going to be any farm disruption, or at least try not to be any farm disruption here. For Pure, the lane should just continue to push in favor of that tier 1 tower on the dire side.
Sure, one lane we haven't talked about much, which has pretty much been a stalemate, which is to be expected. It's always what we see in a Tusk versus a versus any range hero matchup. Even though GPK is not going to be in any kind of trouble, the Tusk is still going to be farming quite nicely. But as we get more levels in the Spirit Siphon, it becomes increasingly harder for the Tusk to really get onto the creep. So now we're seeing GPK trying to make a difference in terms of CS between the 2.
Yeah, and you can see that as well, the regen, what's he got coming out on the courier? It is going to be that 1, so he's trying, he's got the infused raindrops as well. Nicky Cool, just trying to do what he can to keep himself alive in this lane. You know, he's a big tanky hero anyway. Like I say, the Spirit Siphon, it's no longer that max HP damage, that max HP drain coming out. It is just a flat drain, but at level 3, it's still a lot this early on.
Oh, it's insane. It's really a lot of HP that you have to go through. you can't really kill the death buff. And kind of the strength of the Tusk comes from the ability to harass his enemies. But speaking of harassment, TORONTOTOKYO is taking a lot of it, but Pure is going in.
Yeah, Pure, can he get the kill? I mean, the Timber Chain comes out, and swedenstrong, he's going to have his spells up in the next few seconds there. Toss already out, and you can see that TORONTOTOKYO, again, just getting a little bit too far forward. He did try and drop the leech seed to keep himself alive, but the amount of burst damage coming through from the Avatos, from that Timber Chain and the Whirling Death, was too much for the train to stand, and he was felled there by the Timbersaw.
Yeah, TORONTOTOKYO is still getting used to the laning mechanics of the safe lane. That is something that if people have watched their interviews that they've took, he was saying that there were some issues in the lane. Now it's looking better, but it's still not perfect. So in the future, probably we're going to be seeing TORONTOTOKYO even better in the lane with Pure. But for now, he is going to be making these slight mistakes that twice will cost him his life. But at the end of the day, at least he forces the enemies to use a lot of spells, and then Pure can farm.
Yeah, and H2O, they're getting a little bit too far forward. The Rubik holding the telekinesis and the Fade Ball until he knew he was in kill range against the Silencer. And the Silencer, even the Wolves coming in to chase down and do the damage there. So getting the kill over onto the Silencer, and it gets Betboom on the board.
This is that part of the game where the Lycan will get his Helm of the Dawn. It is done. And when we have to expect Nicky Cool to somehow help him, right? First, you need to deal with the mid lane, with the siege, which is something that he's doing. But if you're not rotating towards the bottom lane, it's going to be problematic, or at least TPing. But I don't think Nightfall is going to be as crazy to dive. I think what you want to do with this Lycan is apply pressure and get the tower.
Yeah, and you can see here as well that GPK has close to a full level advantage over the Tusk. The Tusk just hit level 7. GPK the rotate off. Did he find the, even going to be able to find the Dry Ranger now as well? Spirit Siphon coming out. V-Tune. Does he get himself away? He's not going to be able to. The Wild Wing Ripper pulling him back and securing that kill.
This is the thing. You can't go into the jungle in this game if you're Navi. You need the lanes to last longer. The Timbersaw can get enough hate towards him to pull 2 heroes. So you have the Tiny one extra hero to play the map with. And I understand that Betboom, their heroes might be stronger with the Exorcism, with the Shapeshift, but you will have the numbers advantage slowing them down, and with this kind of an approach, you're going to be in a lot of trouble. Nicky Cool is rotating to the top lane, so they're at least bullying TORONTOTOKYO.
Yeah, they did get another kill, but at this point, the tree, it's just playing the living ward roll, scouting out Pure just to be able to put himself behind. Looks like he is going to be going towards the Echo Saber here for the Slark. Meanwhile, the Drow just has to move into the triangle. That's it, the lane is over. Lycan took the tower, and even the Exorcism, it's going to be coming out here in the mid lane. What can they do here? Because H2O's around as well in this mid lane, but you can see that GPK is just hiding himself in the trees, just letting this Exorcism go to work. Nicky Cool here with the wall on GPK. Snowball coming up with the Spirit Side from the wall's already there, so the sustain is up for the Death Buff now. Got 3 heroes in the mid lane. GPK trying to get himself around, but
another shard.
They come out once again. GPK Spirit Siphon onto a creep, just trying to get as much health as he can. Still has one more charge. The telekinesis as well. Snowball will be coming in, but it's going to be underneath the tier 1 tower. No Spirit Siphon for the next 20 seconds. And again, the Ice Shot, the Walrus Punch comes in, but Nicky Cool, he's going to be taking tower damage.
Maybe if the Exorcism was gonna last a couple of more seconds, Navi tried to commit on that one, but at least for now they defend their mid lane tower. But I'm looking at Navi right now. They allowed their bottom part of the map to be overtaken so easily. It's gonna be so hard now to protect your mid lane from 2, maybe even 3 angles. And yep, Living Ward dead yet again.
Oh, TORONTOTOKYO. You know, he spent the best part of the last 2 seasons as, you know, the mid laner taking all of the support team, you know, being in the main focus, fighting all of this far. Shit into that position 5. Obviously, though, you know, it's not like he was forced to do it, he wanted to do it. It was the Betboom squad. But, you know, finding out that life isn't roses at that position 5, which is the reason I don't play it.
No. This is the thing. When he played the mid lane, he always wanted his position 5. I know in games that you're losing or not doing well in, like, they're ganking me. What are you doing against position 5? Go and die there. What the hell? And he's like, yeah, my cores, they want me to die. And he's taking this role quite literally because he is 0 and 4. And Navi have gotten only 4 kills thus far. So it is TORONTOTOKYO that is giving them all of the kills that they've gotten so far.
Yeah, it makes a change from yesterday, though, when it was safe, giving away all the kills in that first game. Yeah, he's maybe just they take turns. He sacrificed himself. Speaking about sacrifice, it's not even a sacrifice. He's dying for nothing again. Top lane, Navi. They pick up the tree. 3, 0, and 5. Navi 5 kills to them. Eh?
This is a bad death, right? This is that treant death that you're staying in the on your lane for a very long time, and till the end he's gonna have the exact same death unless he baits them long enough. No one cares. Navi, they just don't care.
I mean, the Tusk is TPing in here. Does he want to try and make a move? Yeah, they're going to try.
Maybe.
Really like him. Still has that transformation. He's going to be able to get the chips off on the ice shards. Trap him in, and the wolves, at least the wild.
This is dangerous.
Will be
Navi are dead.
Yeah, they're going to be trapped in. And Vtune, again, no mobility. The snowball's going to be coming through onto a creep, but it's going to be underneath the tier 2 with the exorcism going. Nicky Cool is going to try and do his best to keep Vtune alive. Vtune, with the multi-shot, the Crypt Swarm does come through, and it looks like Nightfall will take those tower shots. He doesn't want to die further on to try and get that kill onto Vtune, but Nicky Cool with that snowball, he's going to be able to keep the Drow alive, and the Drow just backs himself away, drops that multi-shot, and then just gets himself out of dodge.
Very, very dangerous thing that Navi just pulled off there, but in the end it's a disaster either way. They might not have lost their heroes, but they're in the bottom part of the map, and now you need to take all of this time to rotate back on the map, because bottom lane, the worst possible place you can be at. You can smoke towards there to get a kill, maybe clear out your jungle, and then go back to farming, but you cannot stay on the bottom lane. So many angles that Betboom can come from, and you're not even gonna see it coming. Navi, and they should be very happy that ended as it did.
Yeah, and you can see again, EGB giving the odds 8 to 1 here, nearly not 1 for an out from Navi, or maybe 9 to 1 from Navi. That's just getting out close to evens here on the odds. You can see as well that, I mean, the Slark's going straight for the Aghanims after the Echo Step, which makes sense. You know, you want that long-range pounce to be able to close the gap onto the Drow Ranger, get right close to him, and deal with this marksmanship bonus that comes out for the Drow Ranger. But Vtune, how is he looking? He is second to bottom net worth. He's about 1,400, yeah, 1,300 gold behind the Slark as well. So the Slark at the minute, just having a really good time here, Pure, not really being contested on his farm. 0-0-0 for him here, Slark, which just shows up he's having the perfect PvE game at the minute.
There it is, the smoke from Navi to push out Betboom from their big jungle, but Betboom read it. And then just go for a counter smoke immediately, then it's gonna be very easy to get the kill.
Yeah, they might try and chase down. Sharkham will be coming through here from laise, so it looks like the Death Prophet going to be backing himself away. Doesn't want to overcommit, but Exorcism is going to be 20 seconds away. So like you say, if they can force a fight here down on this bottom part of the map, and then maybe look to rotate, if they have that Exorcism up, they could potentially look into the rush here on the side of the Betboom.
When you look at Navi's lineup, they're much more reliant on getting the kills. The Tusk and the Tiny, they rely on these early skirmishes that you get the kills from, whereas Betboom's lineup, they still get towers. They're still very good at taking objectives, so their timing is just yet only now coming. Navi, they're definitely feeling the pressure currently, and way too many heroes are on the bottom lane, and they can't even protect the tower. It's still gonna go down.
Yeah, you look at this, the Ancient Black Dragon, the transformation comes out here, shaped it from Nightfall. They might be able to get a kill on the backline, so Save going to get himself away from this one. Chakram's going to fly through, but Save, he's still alive for now. And they're going to be able to get a kill to swedenstrong. Laise is chasing out. They do eventually get the kill. Ice Shards takes him down here, but Laise will be in trouble. They lose 3, and they're going to lose a tier 2 tower, like you say. The shapeshift here for the Lycan, he's got that Ancient Black Dragon still going. So now, you know, Betboom, okay, they've used that Exorcism, so maybe they don't move into the pit for now, but again, it pulls all the aggro away from Pure, who, again, he's just pushing out this top lane, find the farm onto the and get him closer and closer towards that Aghanim scepter.
I like that Betboom went for this kind of approach, and that it's working out. I feel like in some of their games, they're relying too much on individual skill and the way that they're utilizing spells, and sometimes it's just a problem for them because you miss 1 or 2 spells, which we don't even on the screen, and it's not working out too well because that's what you put all of your trust in. But in this game in particular, it's not so much about spell usage as it is in terms of positioning, and they've been positioning quite nicely, but now I have to say they haven't gotten a pushback. When you defend the tier 2 on the bot or on the top, if you're dire, you see the enemies, you need to jump them immediately. If you're waiting for the tower to drop low and allowing the enemies to choose when the fight will start, you will in 99% of the case cases lose that fight, because it is not you choosing when it starts, it is not you initiating, it is not you surprising the opponents, and they're coming from 10 angles, and you won't be able to respond. You just get surrounded completely. So I'm kind of surprised that Navi just stuck around that tower, waiting for it to get low, and then they started running away. At that point, it was too late.
Yeah, TORONTOTOKYO is back now. It was just a game crash, so he's going to be able to get himself right back into it. Not a major pause here, so the tempo not going to be disrupted for either side. And so what do you want to be doing here if you're Navi to get yourself, because I mean the net worth, the kills are even, but 15 minutes into this game, 16 minutes in, it's an 8k net worth lead here coming out for Betboom. And they are losing objectives around the map. You know, how did they get themselves back into this, Navi?
I mean, I don't know if they can get back into it, but I think the goal remains the same for their lineup. You need to be somewhere with the timber and know when the enemies are coming for him. When they are, you would, without hesitation, jump on the first hero that you see. You blow him up. If you can't do that, the fight is lost. And if you can't do that in this game, probably the game is lost. So you just go for plays like that. That's what your lineup is built to do. But I haven't seen Navi even once in this game jump someone without hesitation. Though now they do have a blink dagger on the tusk, so it makes it slightly easier to really go for plays like that.
Okay, yeah, we'll see what they're going to be able to do here with this blink on Nicky Cool. What gaps they are going to be closing, and what heroes they're going to be able to gank off. I mean, Nightfall, you look at him, he's going to be using that shapeshift form again, just to get himself around the map, do a little bit of scouting here as well. But it looks like Betboom, they want to apply pressure to the next tier 2 tower in the mid lane here. DPK forcing it out, but you can see Navi in the jungle, just looking there, finding some farm, maybe looking to catch somebody out. Pure, he's playing it safe though, that Spidey sense, it's tingling, and he's moving himself back. He's got himself the Aghanim Scepter as well. It looks like he wants to go back for another Echo Saber here as well, you know, with the Ogre Axe being queued up, about 180 gold away from picking it up, so maybe this Ancient stack right back into the Echo Saber, and then potentially, you know, he quits this PvE lifestyle and gets himself into the fights. But the smoke will be coming out here from Navi. Let's see which way they want to rotate, and how are they going to be able to find anyone out, because again, Veach, he's not with the team, he's just looking to find some farm in this lane.
Betboom, they're always aware. When Navi are going for a smoke, Betboom are going for a counter smoke. They just don't want to be initiated on, and if that's not the case, if Navi aren't getting that first kill with the global silence and the jump, the fight is over for them.
Yeah, smoke's going to wear off in the river though. Dave, do they have the engagement coming on to Nicky Cool? Nicky Cool, he's going to be silenced. He doesn't have that BKB now until iShot comes out. But that's a double pounce from Pure, so Pure will be getting involved here. Gets himself a kill, or a second kill on the board on the Slark. And now they have that exorcism up. They've got the kill onto the Tusk. They're going to go for even more. Swedenstrong, he gets that pop back. Pure though, iShot's flies through, stolen by the Rubik. Yeah, can they get in range of the telekinesis? It is down for the next 5 seconds, but they have that range. He's going to overdive, and Swedenstrong not going to be able to get himself away. They can move into this pit with the exorcism if they want to here now, Betboom, and it looks like that is exactly what they want to do.
He should have taken that tree and then jumped over the cliff. But you saw, as soon as it's Betboom initiating the fight, it's panic from Navi. Of course, the gold lead now, it's insane. Of course, the exorcism now will take down the Roshan. One thing that also is making a big difference in this game and shows how Betboom want to approach it. They never want to allow their enemies to have any kind of vision on the map. They got a very early. Now it's 19 minutes. I think they bought it like 15 minutes into the game, and they've just been taking down vision everywhere on the map. Betboom are playing on the bottom lane around their own vision, and Pure is playing on the top lane during nighttime with the gem in hand, meaning that he cannot die. There's absolutely no chances. Even if the enemy smoke towards him, he's a Slark, and once the smoke breaks, he's gonna see them earlier than they see him. And it's just impossible to catch him. It's impossible to kill him. Thus, it's impossible for Navi to play the game. Now, at least during this time when the Rosh was being taken, you can go back into the jungle and remove some of the vision, which is exactly.
Yeah, you can see that there was the outpost snatch coming back in. Oh, they're going to be able to get a jump with the laise. Laise doesn't get himself away from this. He's just dead. Straight up Slark stepping into this game now with this Aegis, with the Aghanim Scepter, going towards the shot as well. Not going to be too far away from that. The gold needed about 200 gold, and Pure, he wants to go for more. He actually hits it onto Nicky Cool. Nicky Cool going to be jumped around the attack. Sounds comes through, so no snowball, no ice shots just yet. And the chase on from Pure. Pure is going to be able to pick up another kill here in this game. 3-0 and 2.
With the shard of the Slark, any chances of Navi are gone. Because even if you would get the perfect initiation, there is gonna be a depth shroud protecting whoever it is there. Slark has an Aegis, so he can be aggressive, and if anyone else gets jumped, they're gonna be instantly protected by the depth shroud. That makes it impossible for Navi to defend even the mid lane. They have a tiny, but he doesn't have a blink, and I don't think swedenstrong is ever gonna get it. Again, you know, swedenstrong tiny strikes once more and not getting the blink at the at a timing that is needed for his team.
Yeah, and like you said, the power spike on the tiny, if he doesn't have that blink, he's long past the point of being able to just jump in, or maybe on the Rubik, because the Rubik only has 1,000 health. But, you know, being able to jump in, get the Avatar's combo off, and get the blow-up potential coming through here, it's just, it doesn't work. And I think it's like be a sign for Navi to stop taking the position for Tiny, because it just, every time, like I say, every time we've seen it, it just doesn't seem to work for the team. As Nicky Cool, once again, Exorcism is going to be popped, and they pop Nicky Cool. Global Silence will be there, but Purity says, okay, I'm going to right-click. What? Silence means nothing to me here. Laise can't get himself away. GPK picks up the kill, and they're even going to be able to go. The Exorcism comes out. They might be able to pop this Aegis now onto the Slack, but the telekinesis onto the Drow Ranger, just building right up close here. So Pure, he's got a front row seat to get right clicks coming through onto the Drow Ranger, and Drow at least gets the force that back to the base. But his other teammates not going to be so lucky. Nicky Cool taken down again. That is the dieback coming through, and Betboom, they're just starting to take over the space.
No, they don't need to stop, right? No one is even close to dying. Pure getting close to it a couple of times, but he still has the death shroud, so his life is not going to be taken. And this game one is just over. And GPK, they're waiting for his rampage. Oh man, they're just such nice teammates.
Yeah.
Toronto. Yeah, because he's like, I'm the one true mid laner, and that is just the nastiest thing I've seen all day.
Well, at least DPK's not gonna laugh about it. You know, there's no salt, no tilt over that, as it looks like Betboom. They're just looking to close out that game. Yeah, he was having fun. You saw him on the webcam there. He was having fun.
Yeah, he thought that right click was gonna get it, but Silencer, he. The major stars. That would be very, very surprising. I think if we're getting a patch, it's going to be after the major.
Yeah, I mean, God, it is going to be the Dragon Knight, but going back to, remember when Valve used to patch mid-events? Like, just in the middle of what would be, you know, a big LAN or a third-party tournament, something like that.
They weren't Valve-sponsored events, to be frank.
Navi, the damage potential coming out from Navi, I just don't see it. Like, they have a little bit coming in with it once the Tusk gets the Walrus Punch, and potential right-click damage coming through from that Nature's Prophet. But Lina puts out a lot of magic damage, a lot of right-click damage. The damage that comes from the left and inside his kit, even the Dragon right-click damage coming through in that Dragon form. You've got the Sharpshooter coming out as well from the Hoodwink. It's just, to me, I'm looking at this Betboom lineup, and I think if these fights aren't Navi getting a pick and getting out, you know, these elongated fights, these fights that sustain over 30 to 60 seconds, Betboom, they're always going to come out on top. I don't see how Navi out-damage Betboom in these fights.
They don't out-damage them in the longer fights, but it's about, again, starting the fight and getting that kill initially and then going for the second one. If you look at heroes of Betboom, initially they're pretty squishy. Lesh, Hoodwink, and the Lina, all of these heroes can be easily brought down, especially in the early stages of the game before the Bloodstones, the BKBs, and items like that do come out. And that is the timing that Navi have to be gunning for. You need to be pressuring Betboom. If you're not getting kills, at least Betboom cannot be farming. And if you go back into the jungle, if you start slowing down the game yourself, you are gonna lose in pretty much the same fashion as earlier, because this is, again, the same thing. You have two heroes, mid laner and the off laner, very good at pushing, and then you have a very, very powerful position one that when Pure joins the fight, let's say with his BKB, is just gonna rip you apart.
Yeah, just watching Nature's Prophet get cute there with his trains as well, trying to get him inside the base. Laise, though, I say we'll come down onto Laise, but there is still going to be two heroes around here from the side of Navi with Laise as well as swedenstrong. So at least here, they're going to be able to snatch one of these runes. It is going to be the trade, though, the 2 for 2. It looks like the Yeah, and again, you know, the nature's probably getting really cute with the trains, putting them inside the dire base, forcing these couriers back because they were just outside the fountain. And it's maybe not panic stations, but just having to be aware of where those couriers are, and the tower obviously spotting out those trains. VTune not able to pick up any of the couriers like he wanted to.
I mean, you will always see people just put those couriers out because early levels they're so slow, and that
Yeah.
little bit of you know, ground that you cover just away from your fountain, it means something. You know, at least I'm gonna get my tangos faster. But overall, you know, being pushed back, it's not that big of a deal overall. Even if players wouldn't do it, I would say that the percentage of games where something like that is really gonna make a difference is super low.
Yeah, I mean, speaking of couriers, TORONTOTOKYO, he's going to be able to get the Rubik courier here as well. Just one more right click does take it down. Swedenstrong, it looks like he did get his items out for it first, but TORONTOTOKYO 3 seconds away before he's got the bat shield again. Just getting right on top of Swedenstrong, who's looking for these. Also, again, the body block's coming through. He's trying to juke it around, turns himself around in the river. The spear comes out onto the Lina now as well. Lina, does he want to try and come in with an LSA as the Fade Bolt does fly through? Now, this looks Swedenstrong, going to get away with just half his health. The right clicks as well. Pure not throwing out that LSA here in the lane. So Swedenstrong, it will connect now as well. But Pure only level 1, so there's no Fiery Soul stacks to stack up the extra attack speed coming through for the Lina. So Swedenstrong, again, turns around with the Fade Bolt. Looking to just get a little bit aggressive here up against the Lina. Meanwhile, in the mid lane, you can see that GPK, he's going to be low on life, and we've talked about the Tusk in this lane up against the Lash, you know, being able to close that gap, get on top of the Lash early on in the lane. It does offer some kill potential. Speaking of kill potential, Swedenstrong gets the kill onto Pure. What a great start for the Lina in the lane.
What Betboom did in the top lane and why it ended up being a death now on the Lina is what they wanted to do is they saw that they took a lot of HP away from the Rubik and the Mars. So they, with the Lina, pulled the creeps to connect them close to the enemy tower and just continue applying the pressure, thinking that Navi weren't going to be able to get close to the creeps. But Lina level 1 is just not that powerful, and it is a problem. Clockwork might be, but the Lina isn't, and because they didn't have level 2, level 3 on their heroes, they really couldn't continue with that pressure, and ultimately it ended up in Pure losing his life.
Yeah, and you can see that he's using the LSA just to try and get the stacks up now with the Fiery Soul to get that attack speed and movement speed there as well on Pure. But yeah, to me, the Lina most deadly around the level 3, level 4, when you have a point into the Dragon Slave, as well as a, you know, second point into the Fiery Soul, to be able to stack up that right-click speed and the damage that the Lina will put out up against probably the Rubik, because I mean, the Mars at this point, he's already got himself one Bracer, going to go into the phase with Sir as well, so the extra armor coming through here from the Mars, it is going to be trickier to pick him off in this lane, I think.
Of course it will. Still, it is a Clockwork, and once the Clockwork is level 3, the damage output is very strong. And Mars likes to be all close and personal because it's much easier to connect the spear that way, but not really to a Clockwork. So yeah, a tough one to deal with overall.
The best player?
You can see the save and H2O. They're just being friendly about it. You know, the chase comes out, the Hoodwink moving himself away as the Undying tries to chase him down, but they're going to be friendly. They're going to throw those high fives. Undying looking towards those 6 mangoes as well. Nicky Cool in the mid lane now. How's it going for him in terms of last hits? He's keeping it even with the Lash. Not going to be too far distance here as well. Snowball coming through onto the Lash as well. They don't want to throw those ice shards out just yet though, and they will come through eventually. Nicky Cool doesn't get the GPK in range for the tower, but he is still going to be able to throw these right clicks out onto the Lash, and the Lash is going to be forced to use these bottles.
He almost did though. I mean, in the meta so far, Tusk has been a better laner than the Lesh overall. The only time I've seen Lesh win against the Tusk was when Quinn was playing it, and he is probably the best Lesh player overall. GPK is very good in terms of laning, but overall, if you do everything right with the Tusk and you aren't like super proficient in this matchup altogether, the Tusk should be slightly ahead, or at least even with the Lesh.
Yeah, and looking at the top lane now as well, you know, laise, he's going to be hit by the LSA. Is there going to be any follow-up? TORONTOTOKYO, he's not going to be close enough for the battery, so the right-click damage coming through from Pure. It's not going to be able to get the kill onto the Mars. Mars will walk himself away, which good for Mars. But Pure, he wants that kill, you know, he wants to get himself back in the game, but this is going to be a really nice, you know, just being able to disrupt in this lane here as the Mars, as Swedenstrong on the Rubik. LSA comes through. Is it going to be able to enough to take down Swedenstrong? Telekinesis now as well. Pure He doesn't have the range to get the kill onto swedenstrong. So swedenstrong back underneath that tier 1, completely out of health here, so he has to be careful about being caught out. But again, any disruption coming through up against this Lina, going to be good news for Navi.
All of the reasons why swedenstrong took that damage is because he wanted the flag bear, and Lina just waited for him right there. So, you know, being a bit greedy there, but understandably so. You usually think with Rubik you're gonna be able to get a melee creep to go your way, not this time around.
Yeah, and laise, he's already got the boots. He's got those raindrops as well. TORONTOTOKYO looking for that half pull through into the harpy stack, it looks like, in that small camp. And laise not going to be able to disrupt just yet. The cogs are down, so that stack will stand. But laise could come through with the points into the spear and the God's Rebuke, and maybe look to potentially farm the stack up. Taken away, but TORONTOTOKYO pinned to the tree there. The Fade Bolt flies through. TORONTOTOKYO now. Do they want to try and turn around? Pure might be setting up for an LSA. Does he actually hit it? Just on the edge of it, but it will connect onto laise. Where are those cogs as well? laise taking a lot of damage coming through from this battery assault, but the spear back, and laise forces the clockwork away. He's gonna be able to get the kill there onto the Mars. And now swedenstrong, he doesn't have the mana for the Fade Bolt, but the rotation comes through. TORONTOTOKYO, cogs do get dropped. Can he get himself away from this one though? Trapped in the ice shard, and swedenstrong from a distance, just looking to do damage. And Nicky Cool comes in, Walrus Punch, gets the kill. TORONTOTOKYO starting on the back foot again in this game, like he did in the first game on the tree.
But at least it took a task rotation to get towards him, you know. So Betboom, they are being quite aggressive on the top lane. Mars is very, very well known for doing well in the lane, especially when you have a Rubik. Ever since the Mars got introduced into the game, man, it was such a long time ago now. But one of his best laning partners has been the Rubik. Here now is in trouble. Okay, Navi are playing the aggressive game. They are playing the fast game.
Yeah, immediately as soon as Joe steps too far up, the clockwork's not there. Vtune gets the TP in, and you can teleport right back down to the bottom lane if he needs to. Really good ward here as well in the Radiant jungle that's just being, you know, shown off here. That spots out that Alesh was moving towards that bottom Radiant jungle. They know that Pure was being left alone, no rotation coming through from GPK, and it looks like Vtune moving out of the lane, just giving some space over to the Undyne in this bottom lane, but he wants to put the pressure onto this top tier 1 tower.
And that's the difference between the Drow and the Nature's Prophet. When the Nature's Prophet feels like leaving the lane would be nice, he can apply pressure on the map quite easily, even get a kill. Where the Drow Ranger moves away, unless you're heavily winning a lane and you TP there, you're not really gonna help too much, and you definitely won't be able to surprise someone with a kill. So beautifully done by Vtune. He gets this tower, and that's before the Dragon Knight applies any pressure to his tower. So if Navi wants, they can still defend the bottom lane with the Vtune.
Yeah, Nightfall is level 6, so he will be popping that Dragonfall as well onto the bottom tier 1, but it looks like they might try and go on to save it, save the snow. Going to be coming in now as well. Walrus Punch comes out, and Nicky Cool getting himself a second kill of the game. Really nicely done.
Vtune is on top.
Yeah, did they have enough to take him down though? It looks like they're not going to be able to. Mars with the spear again onto TORONTOTOKYO, forcing that battery assault away, and the Nature's Prophet will be able to move off. And it looks like there's the Dragon Form for the Dragon Knight on the bottom lane. Not super effective here. And Dyne still be able to come in with the decay stacked onto Nightfall, and Nightfall not really being able to do much damage to this tier 1 tower on the bottom lane.
I like that Vtune got a Midas. Sometimes people think, okay, Midas, this means that he's just gonna be farming. No, this means that he's gonna be coming into fights, and he's not gonna be hitting the creeps so much, so he needs a way to be able to keep up and farm, or keep ahead in farm with the Nature's Prophet, which is very important. Plus, this hero benefits a lot from the added attack speed. So I like that he went for the Midas. To me, it shows that Vtune is not going to be spending a lot of time in the jungle. Rather, he's going to be everywhere on the map. And then if things start to you know, if he can't really get all of the farm because he's always fighting, he's at least going to have the Midas every minute and a half to give him the extra gold.
Yeah, and you can see that. Top lane, laise, he wants to get aggressive here. Pure being pushed all the way back to the tier 2 laise. Does he get that gap close? He's got the phase boots, but Pure is just close enough to that tier 2 tower that the Mars doesn't want to come in onto the Lina. But Navi, they are setting the tone in this game. The bottom lane now as well. There's going to be a dive onto the Undyne. Did he have enough to get the kill? They will be able to. Earth comes out here from the Lesh. He sets up, and with the diabolic edict coming through, they're going to be able to take this tier 1 tower, but pretty much undefended here from the side of Navi. They're happy enough to give this tower away.
Yeah, they understand that it's very hard to kill the DK, but it's easier to kill the Lina. That's why they're going for pure.
Yeah, even V2 going to be TPing into this Pure, going to get himself away. The Sprout comes out. Laguna Blade's going to be used. But V2, he gets the kill onto Pure. And TORONTOTOKYO, well, he gets out with his life, but he has to watch his position 1 go down there. And really nice, again, really nice rotation in from V2 to help out his team. But it looked like laise as well as swedenstrong had the damage to get the kill onto the Lina. And Lina, no way to get away from that once the arena was up.
Betboom understands it's hard for them to make plays until their supports are level 6. So that's why they're giving lanes to both Save and TORONTOTOKYO. By allowing them to be more aggressive, it's gonna be easier for the Lina to find the farm, because Lina is, again, a very squishy hero. You need to be able to farm the jungle at this point. Maelstrom, BKB, only then will Pure be ready to go in. And the supports without their level 6s, the Hoodwink and the Clock, really aren't as useful on the map.
Yeah, and we'll see how, I mean, it looks like at least he doesn't want to give away this tier 1 tower on the mid. Even with the catapult coming in, Navi not going to be able to put the pressure on here. GPK just being able to farm up with the Pulse Nova, do that damage and take that away, going towards the Bloodstone. So it is going to be the standard Lash build coming out here for GPK. No changes. As the catapult on the bottom wave, it looks like Nicky Cool, he might just want to clean this up. A little bit of a pressure being applied to this Navi bottom tower, but you can see the Dragon Knight in the jungle. He's not looking to overly aggress onto the tower, not using that Dragon form. Meanwhile, V-Tune, he is finding these stacks on the Ancients with his treants, be able to farm up this triangle, get himself a decent amount of farm, is sitting top of the net worth, looking towards that Maelstrom here as well. laise maybe looking to get aggressive. Is he looking towards the, what's on his career? Nothing on the career just yet, so no blink dagger to come out, but there is going to be the smoke.
I think they want blinks. That's just it for Navi. You want blinks. You won't be able to jump. You need to kill Pure over and over again before he finishes his BKB, and it's a long time until he...
Yep, Ice Shot connects into the tier 2 tower. Any TP is going to come in onto this, but the Ice Shot's into the spear. Going to be there to get the kill onto Pure. The Dragon Knight, he just cancels that TP. Knows it's going to be completely useless there. Pure is already dead.
TORONTOTOKYO finally has his hook shot, but they saw him on the top lane, so that's why Navi are trying to make something happen in the mid. Betboom, they're good. They've been doing good in terms of defending their towers, but they haven't been doing good in terms of applying pressure to the enemy's towers and protecting Pure, and that is a problem. I think that Navi have found a way to get into the later portions of the game and eventually win it later on, and that is just continue killing Pure.
Well, they're going to be able to get a really nice pushback up onto 2 heroes as well, with a sharpshooter coming through. Sadie gets the kill onto Nicky Cool. And swedenstrong, he was trying to turn the Pulse Nova of his own round onto the side of Betboom, but they do get a cleanup onto the Rubik here. And Nightfall now in this Dragon form gets a little bit onto the tier 1 tower. Should be able to apply even more with the Breathe Fire. Yeah, just going to be coming in here. Creep Wave pushing in as well, so he's going to get some aggression here onto this tier 1 tower in the mid lane, but probably, again, not enough to take it down.
The side of Navi, they tried to apply pressure, but they didn't get enough farm on their Tusk and on their Mars. And while they were getting a couple of kills on Pure, Nightfall was just farming all this time. The supports were farming, and now the timing is finally hit. So Betboom with the Blink Dagger on the DK, with the hook shot, and with the Sharpshooter, now they can finally make plays. So Navi, they cannot just, so they usually like la-di-da, just move towards a part in the map, because you're gonna get stunned up and you're gonna die. And you really have to be afraid of this Dragon Knight, because it looks like Nightfall currently, he is the strongest hero on the map, like no contest.
Yeah, going towards that BKB as well, so it's going to be a lot harder to control once that comes out. And I spoke about it yesterday, well, not at length, but the Nightfall, he's looking so good with his positioning when he does prioritize the team fights over objectives as well. He has the least deaths on the side of Betboom, or at least he did before that 70-minute game. I'm not sure how that fell after that, but Nightfall at the minute, he's quietly having a really good season in this offlane. He really impressed me so far in the DPC.
Yeah, he has definitely learned a lot in EG, and now he has come back to his region to just show the fruits of his labor, and it's looking really amazing. Navi, they're going for smokes. They need this mid lane tower to fall. The map needs to open even more, or they're gonna allow this Lina to get back into the game, get the BKB timing, and then you're done for if you don't have the good enough lead.
Yeah, Mars did go for the Falcons there before straight into that blink here. laise steps up, the arena comes out. There's going to be a 3
Bloodstone
He's got that Bloodstone. Is it going to be able to keep him alive, though? He looks like he's still going to take him down. Nicky Cool, he gets the kill with the Bushwhack. It's going to be the Laguna Blade comes on. H2O. Trying to run himself with a hook shot. He gets himself in close onto Nicky Cool.
Pure is packing a punch.
They have these cogs. And yeah, you can see the Pure. He's cleaning up, gets himself the double kill before he goes down. And now they can chase even further the Bushwhack onto the Rubik. The chase is out. The damage with the Dragon Tail. And Rubik, he's going to be taken down. So they do take down 2 cores on the side of Betboom. But Navi, they just get a punch to the mouth and it disrupts their plans. But Betboom, they turn it around, they take down 4.
Pure is so good. He understood. The entirety of Betboom understood what the plan from Navi was. Take this tower down. And even if he would lose more heroes in this one, which did not happen, it would be okay if the tower lives. And that's what Betboom were gunning for. That's what they want. And that's how they create their space for this Lina to get the BKB. You could see Pure like, oh, he has 2-5 on the Lina. He's not having a good game. Actually, he is. Because considering the state of the map currently, he is going to have the time before his team gets overrun to get that BKB and be able to connect into fights. Finding an impact in the game as a carry Lina, it's not easy, but Pure made it happen there in the previous fight.
Yeah, you can see that the win probability going down 71% in favor here of Betboom. So Navi, even though they had a great start, they were looking for those rotations, got a good couple of picks onto the Lina, or a good few picks onto the Lina. It still looks like, you know, Gaben's just like, Betboom, they still got this. And now the chase on Nightfall, he couldn't close the gap. The Bushwhack won't connect onto Laise here as well. So Laise at least will be able to get himself away from the danger, but potential setup from Betboom, they're getting pretty cheeky now, you know, with those dives behind the tier 2 tower. They've got the confidence, they're looking for those ganks.
Navi need to punish those either by immediately TPing and killing that Dragonite. That should be your main priority before he gets the BKB. Or, on the other hand, I really don't like Nicky Cool there. He could have jumped the Clockwork. You saw 2 heroes behind your tier 2s. You definitely could have killed the Clockwork. There wouldn't be enough heroes on the side of Betboom to assist him, but they just hesitated for a second. And those kind of hesitative approaches to the game is what's definitely costing them. Betboom, they can get away with plays like this, especially unsuccessful ones.
Yeah, and you can see the smoke comes up from Navi, but it's all it's really going to get is any D1. Nightfall already keeping himself up to the top lane. He's away. He was away from the gank potential coming through. And Navi, the grouping up like you talked about, they want to get aggressive here in Navi, but it just seems like Betboom, they're hitting that time and they're hitting the points where the heroes are pretty tanky, pretty sustainable with things like the Bloodstone coming out for the Lash. And it's so hard now to get the kills on these heroes.
Oh man, if I was Navi, I'd start feeling the pressure now. BKB on the DK, almost done. Lina, same as well. The Lash, he's a little bit further away, but it doesn't matter. If just one of them has the BKB, it's very hard for Navi because their Blink instant initiation, it is there, but you can always react to the Blink Walrus Punch. It's not impossible to do so. So I'm looking at these Betboom heroes, and very soon they're just gonna stop dying.
They're gonna try and make the jump. They do get the kill on to save. The ward, not enough there. I mean, he would have had the vision, but I guess just again playing that body block against so the Leshrac could get him, you know, buy the time for GPK to get himself away from the incoming gang.
The best player?
The way Betboom are itemizing right now is to survive. They know their heroes naturally do enough damage, right?
Yeah.
TORONTOTOKYO will get a 4-staff, Ludwig will get a blink, and the cores will get BKBs. And then it's gonna be much easier for you to stand your ground in a fight, for the supports to move around the fight while their cores are standing ground. And then Navi are gonna have a very, very tough time winning these fights, especially because this mid lane tower still hasn't been taken down. And if these BKBs come out, the question is if Navi will ever get it down in this game.
Yeah, and that's the BKB flying in for it. It looks like both the Dragon Knight as well as the Lina. So perfect timing now for Betboom to set up for a potential fight. If they want to look for a rotation, look for a gank on somebody. 3 heroes in the mid lane there as well, onto this tier 1 tower. So smoke coming out from Navi, but they don't know these BKBs are up. Perfectly timed here for Betboom. So let's see how Navi, how are they going to try and deal with these? Are they going to be able to find anyone out in the first place? Because it looks like Betboom, again, like you talked about in the draft, just playing away, not giving Navi the opportunity to come in for these ganks and taking the fights on their terms. So Navi, they are looking for this rotation, but who are they going to find?
Betboom were able to slow down the game, but Navi, now they want to increase the pace yet again. Lesh is the better target.
This is the dive through. Can they get themselves on top of GPK? It looks like GPK, the arena comes through, and not going to be able to sustain with the Bloodstone this time. And the Dragon Knight, he'd already popped that Dragon form, just flies himself away, flaps his wings back to safety. And you can see that with 4 or 5 heroes from the side of Navi grouped up, they should be able to take this tier 1 tower on the bottom lane.
Yep. If you are having issues taking the mid lane tower down, use the speed, use the ability of you to control the side lanes to make it happen. Again, this is the type of game. Betboom are not as mobile as Navi, so Betboom, understandably, they would want to fight around the mid lane, whereas Navi, their ability to storm down the side lanes is much better. So that's where they would prefer to go for fights now, especially now when Betboom are getting their BKBs and they're definitely stronger in a 5 versus 5, a straight up one.
Yeah, Swedenstrong. Oh, the hook misses. Swedenstrong. Oh, gonna be able to get himself away from that one. Point blank hooks as well. So Swedenstrong just like, you know what? That is tip worthy. It was a nice try. You know, mending the opponent there. No malicious intent with that tip whatsoever.
Yep. Yesterday, when Betboom won a 70-minute game, I think Nightfall wrote in the chat, GG easy.
Easy, yeah.
But, yeah, but kind of, I don't know, people took it as toxic. I kind of took it as fun banter between friends, because it obviously wasn't an easy game, right?
Yeah.
And they already had some fun banter between them in the previous game. So I'm hoping, maybe I'm naive, but I'm hoping that it was like the best of intentions, just to have fun.
Yeah, and you can see again on the screen, guys, as it looks like TORONTOTOKYO set up for his own move. The Navi have a 5-1 on the EGB odds, but the fight breaking out. The BKB comes up from Pure, so he's going to be able to deal with the spear coming through. Can he take down? Well, there's going to be a shot to as well, but Undying not dead just yet. The Mars Tombstone has been dropped. I think the arena was just delayed
dangerous
onto the Tombstone. Yeah, now Pure, his BKB's worn off. The Laguna Blade was stolen. Bichu, he gets the kill onto Pure. The takedown save. Nightfall has to pop the BKB of his own. Trying to get himself away. He just walked himself into eye shards, and now the Sprout comes
He's
out.
gone.
Nightfall. He's just going to be cleaned up. Yeah, the BKB going to be wearing off, and H2O, he gets the kill. Really nice position there from Navi, and they can just march themselves now into the Roche pit to find this kill onto Roshan, while these 3 heroes on the side of Betboom are going to be down and dead.
A fight where you could run circles around Betboom, that's what you were gunning for. Betboom, they had their BKBs and they felt confident that they can't lose a fight, but that wasn't really a fight. That was Navi just poking until you had nothing left and then finishing it off, and it all happened because Laise put such a great arena down. Even though I disagreed the way the Tombstone wasn't getting attacked, because it was definitely inside of the arena. It was in, right? But and now you can just continue going forward for more. Save is dead again.
Yeah, and the TORONTOTOKYO cancels that TP. It would have been just suicidal to come into this mid lane with 4 or 5 heroes around. You're TPing, you see safe die, so immediately just cancels off that TP. And all of a sudden now, Navi in the driver's seat in this match.
Yep, Betboom, they need GPK in fights because he's their burst damage. He doesn't care about the arena. But for that, now he has the BKB, so he's safe in terms of living. But he cannot get into the fight fast enough. That's why he's probably going to be needing a blink. I'm very curious to see if that's what GPK is going to go for. I think it's something that Betboom needs if they are to take these side lane fights that they're being forced into. Let's make it clear. Navi, they're not allowing anything else to happen, right? That is where they want to fight, and they're in control because they have a Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, and you can see that they are grouping up again to apply pressure to another tower now. The tier 2 tower in the top lane just being taken down. Bichu, and he's just going to stand with the right place. Look at him as well, going over to the Scud. But this is going to be harder now for the sustain of GPK, even with that Bloodstone in these fights. He might be able to make the jump onto Mars. Laise, there is going to be Dragon Tail coming through. What's that extra setup though? They're looking for the hook coming through the TORONTOTOKYO underneath the tower. The coach gets dropped. The LSA is they get the kill onto Bichu now as well with the Laguna Blade. No. So if they have that sustain and the Laguna Blade still there onto Swedenstrong, now gets to split Earth. But a lot of damage. They get the kill on TORONTOTOKYO. Really nice dive. That could have been the Aegis if they'd have had a little bit more damage onto Vichun, because he TP'd right underneath the LSA. Perfect timing there. Well, not perfect timing for Vichun, but perfect timing on the LSA for the stun onto the Nature's Prophet.
I mean, perfect spell usage coming out from Betboom overall. The stun, the follow-up, hook shot, then the knockback. Everything was used quite nicely there by the side of Betboom. The Mars never getting a chance to get anything off, and then you get a kill. That Nature's Prophet would have just been great if they took him down, but Vichun, he had so many stats, and now he has even more. Skadi against 3 effectively ranged heroes. Dragonite, when he doesn't have his form, he's really not that powerful of a hero, and when he has it now, he's gonna have to be dealing with the Skadi.
Yeah, and it's just, again, Navi, even after losing the Mars, they lost it on their side of the map, but there was no creeps to push in. And, you know, Betboom, they looked for the disengage, you know, they didn't want to fight even further into Navi. The Split Earth coming out, Swedenstrong as well, being able to take these Laguna Blades. They just absolutely perfect.
The smoke.
Oh, GPK though, he pops up BKB. Did he have the damage? The arena comes through, but it's going to be BKB. It's going to be a little bit of trouble with Snowball though. They get the dive onto Save. Save trying to do what he can with the sharpshooter, but the BKB for laise as well as Nicky Cool. But they get
gone.
Pure, he's just dead. He gets caught out. The split earth comes out from the Rubik, and they have enough to take him down. And now TORONTOTOKYO, the telekinesis. It's going to be it though. Pushback onto the Nature's Prophet. Still going to be able to get the kill onto the Clockwork.
Timings in this game was missed. The first one was Navi before Betboom get their BKBs, but the second, the more important timing that was missed by Betboom is when they got their BKBs. 2 9-second BKBs were used on the top lane and they lost the fight. GPK, he didn't go for a blink in this game. He went for the boots of travel, trying to, you know, mimic the movements of the Nature's Prophet and alleviate the pressure, but considering that they're the ones losing towers, these boots of travel, the question is how much can he really make use of them?
Yeah, oh, Nightfall on the bottom lane as well. He needs to go for that TP away. The blink. Launch point Snowball is going to cancel it off. This is going to be gone death onto Nightfall. He can't get himself away from this. V-Tune, he pops that Sprout. Nightfall. He doesn't have the BKB for 25 seconds, even if he wanted it to. No TP to get himself out. Nightfall, 3 heroes stacking around. And the right click to V-Tune. He does get the kill onto the Dragon Knight. So maybe again a little bit of a caster's curse as V-Tune immediately GPK. Look at this, so they get the pushback off onto the Mars. The Mars doesn't have that BKB for 10 seconds or so, so they do get the kill. And now the chase down onto the Nature's Prophet. Split Earth, no hookshot! Next! It was onto the creep to V-Tune. V-Tune, he's not going to be able to get himself out, even with the 8 just here.
BKB TP?
Yeah, he has to. He has to go for this. Do we have the timing on the stuns?
Lena's there.
He's popping the BKB. He's trying to get himself away. They don't have the damage to take him down, but the Aegis will be popped.
He had BKB in 2 seconds and teleport in 5, and that was just enough. You know, there's cogs waiting for you, but you're spamming the BKB, you get it out, and Pure, he's a Lina, so without the procs of the Maelstrom, the damage output just isn't that high. But still, that was dangerous for Navi, and the BKB of the Nature's Prophet is getting low as well. And Betboom, they have better vision overall in terms of starting fights. So
yep.
It's not a done deal for Navi, even though they are playing a good game. But Betboom, now they see that they have the edge, and if they start getting more kills at this point, it's gonna be awesome for them. But unfortunately, they don't find a single one.
Oh, and you can see that Lina, with a double damage unit, actually going to go towards the Dragonlance, have that extra attack range coming out before. You know, at this point, I wouldn't expect Lina to be going towards something like a Satanic for the extra sustain. But yeah, Pure at the minute, he just wants the extra attack speed, you know, the extra attack range coming out from that Dragonlance. Maybe straight into the Hurricane Pike as well, yeah.
Yep, the level 20 for the Nature's Prophet is nearing, and without that, you're in so much trouble.
Oh, Nicky Cool, so cool with that snowball there, keeping Swedenstrong away from the Breathe Fire, away from the Sharpshooter, and Swedenstrong, he's got to give thanks over to Nicky Cool there for saving his life.
They get the vision down. That was the main part of that move, and you can see that Betboom, they don't want anything to do with this part of the map any longer. One good thing, say Betboom have been doing amazingly well, is understanding when to buy a gem. When they're doing well, when they're losing, it doesn't matter. They understand the importance of vision in some parts of the game, and in this part of the game, it's so important. TORONTOTOKYO is just trying to find the last ward of Navi. The aggressive vision for Navi is the main reason why earlier the Betboom smoke didn't work, because when you have vision that deep in and you see Betboom just not appearing on any of it, you know that they're making a play.
Yeah, Pure did find himself an Elven Tunic, which is going to be nice on the evasion from that, the attack speed there as well, onto this Lina. And especially when a lot of the damage coming out from, or all of the damage coming out from V-Tune is going to be right-click damage. And it's just going to be one of those items that just gives a little bit of extra boost, but how well it's going to perform the fights. You can see as well, GPK, he's still looking for the farm. He's looking towards that Shivas. He needs that extra armor just because of the right-click potential on the side of Navi being so strong that Lesh, he's being burst down so quickly in every single fight.
Mars is going for a Hex. Laise, he sees that these guys on Betboom, they're just sick, and you cannot hit them with the Blinking Spear, because they're too good. Every single time they're responding. I'm looking at Pure, I'm looking at GPK, and towards Nightfall, and you just cannot connect with it. So they need another form of initiation. Considering that Swedenstrong doesn't have an Eternal Lens or a Blink just yet, you need to be the one making it happen. So Laise, he is going to have that perfect initiation if he can farm the money.
It looks like Navi, they want to make another move through the jungle now as well. And, well, they're making sure, they're looking for this vision, making sure it's being de-warded. But V-Tune, he's still in the dire side of the map. He's looking towards that Silver Edge. He wants that break over onto I guess the Lina onto the Dragon Knight there as well to take away. Who would you prioritize with that? Would you take away the Dragon's Blood from the Dragon's Knight?
The Dragon's Blood is good, but the thing is, the Silver Edge is just a great item for the Nature's Prophet. You want some positioning tool, and you wanted the crit, and that's why you're going for a Silver Edge rather than for the break.
Yeah. He's going to have it now. Yeah, completely buys out for it. So, Nature's Prophet, look at the difference between net worth of the two carries. It's about 7,000. I mean, the net worth between the two teams is only 1k.
He has no buyback, whereas the Lina does have one, and the outpost was taken back. Navi, they need a convincing fight, because around this outpost, if the TPs come through, if the buybacks and TPs come through and you win a fight, then the Roche will go towards Betboom. So risky and aggressive move from Navi, but you know, you're gunning for the win. You're not going to be playing defensively.
Yeah, the Silver Edge might be the big item in these fights that just tips it in the balance of Navi. So he's going to be fine with taking it up. Both sides going to be swapping parts of the map here. Roshan is back up as well. So worthy looking. You can see the Vichu and he's TPing into the trees. He's just looking to scout out. He's got himself the Arcane Rune here now as well. So he's got the extra cooldown, the extra mana cost. So he can throw out these the TPs to look to scout just a little bit more often here with the Arcane Rune. And okay, Pure is going to TP back. This might be a really nice opening for the side of Navi. If they see him on the map, which we are going to see Pure because he's looking to get the deep push off. Pings, they're coming towards the Roche pit now as well. How did Betboom? Do they want to try and contest into this? And Navi, how are they even moving into the pit in the first place?
Every single outpush of lanes like this from Betboom needs to be well coordinated, because you know that the enemies are going to be coming for you.
Oh, look at this as well. Toronto-Tokyo, again, they're looking to group up on the right-hand side of the map. They're looking to play around this Roche pit on the side of Betboom. Well, meanwhile, Navi, they're looking to take that outpost back. And if they keep this outpost, if the fight does break out, there's nothing for Betboom to get backing close to.
They have nothing, literally. Navi, they're taking this slowly, and now they will force Betboom to come back from the top lane. That is a very nice move coming up from Navi. Betboom, they're in a position right now where they don't know if they should engage. It feels really bad, and once they TP to the top lane, that is when you let go of the Roche.
Yeah, and I mean the Dragon Form is going to be down for the next 40 seconds here now as well. So it looks like if Navi were going to go, I mean, it might just go for a smoke into a fight. They're going to be seen
under a ward.
On an observer ward. Yeah, if a smoke comes out now, or even the rotation, this might just be enough time for Betboom to get in. The hook shot coming through. They're going to be able to get on top of the Tusk. Hexed up now. Zombie damage coming through, separated from the rest of the team. Vichu, he's trying to do his best to get the TP into the damage. Nicky Cool to be.
He didn't manage to kill him.
The LSA don't have enough damage to take him down just yet. Snowball. Vichu gets the kill onto Toronto-Tokyo. Pure. He's just being right-clicked down as well to get the cleanup onto the Lina. And the Lina bought out, no buyback available here for him. And the chase is on for the rest of the side of Betboom. Can they get themselves into a safe position?
Zombies are coming.
Even if they do, going to be chased down. Push back onto him. Nightfall, what can he do? Ops that BKB. He's already used that Hex. He's going to be on cooldown. Swedenstrong taking a lot of damage with GPK hits. BKB on cooldown, and the rightness from Vichu, he just absolutely cleans it up. And now, well, the bushwhack, he doesn't come through, but the Dragon Tail will be there. Takes down the undying Vichu, trying to get himself away with the hook shot.
In trouble.
It's recooled down now, Vichu. Can he get himself out of this? He absolutely cannot. The damage, though, is it going to be enough? It will be. They even get the kill onto Nicky Cool. And they can go into laise as well. Laise, that was looking so good for Navi.
Navi, though.
A little bit too far. Wow. Laise, bushwhack, it connects. They're going to be able to get the cleanup onto the Mars.
Oh, I'm actually surprised that Navi didn't buy back there to come back into the fight, but it was Nightfall in this fight. He didn't use the BKB until later on down there. He saw, very nicely done from Betboom. They don't just immediately, all of them pop their BKBs and run into the arena. They go around the fight. They see what Navi are trying to do. After the Tusk doesn't die initially, you still have to have something to fall back on, and it was Nightfall. This guy used to be a carry player, and now he's carrying his team once again. Does most of the damage in that fight. There is a Lesh and the Lina, and it is Nightfall that comes out ahead. Obviously, he was the one that stayed alive for the longest of times, and now it's Roche time. You take back the outpost. Navi, if you would buy back now, it would be too late.
Yeah, you look at the amount of damage coming through from Pure. He went straight into the Hurricane fight. Going into a Silver Edge himself, but look at the attack speed coming through onto Roshan. Like you say, even if they go back now, Navi just not going to be able to get in to test this. And this is going to be a really nice run. And again, that last fight, it just felt, I mean, Navi were winning that. Navi absolutely won that fight. And then Betboom re-engaged. Clockwork right back in. He got the hook shot back off cooldown. And it just felt like Navi, they hung around a little bit too long, went a little bit too greedy. And all of a sudden, the fight flips in favor of Betboom.
Yep, Betboom were the ones that actually found the right initiation there. They had that perfect ward in the mid lane, and that's the reason why they got such a great initiation. But despite that, the Tusk didn't die. The second that the Tusk didn't die, you knew it was a bad fight. And then they were contemplating ways to come back onto their own vision. In the end, they managed to do it. It was without Pure, but it was with Nightfall and with the GPK being alive. And then they out-sustained Navi, and with just one buyback, they turned it around. But as I mentioned, Navi, considering they started winning that fight, I think multiple buybacks would have been nice. You clean up that fight. Betboom don't have buybacks. You take the Roche. You know that the outpost is in your favor, and then you are the ones that are controlling the game for the next 5 minutes. Now it's actually going to be Betboom and Pure. You killed him once easily, but now you're going to have to do it twice.
Yeah, and now they've got the Tater Towers, so Betboom taking a little bit more map control. Nightfall still using the ultimate to get some farm through, to farm up quicker. He's got the level 3 onto that. Actually going to be going towards a refresher and not an Aghanim Scepter that I thought he might be going towards on this Dragon Knight.
Oh, interesting. I guess you want that long initiation. If you can find the Tusk and kill him. I'm not sure about the build on Nightfall overall, just because you're up against the Tusk. But if you are initiating on the Tusk, then it's amazing. So we'll see if they actually manage to make that happen.
Look at this now as well. They're going to be able to get engaged onto H2O. H2O, they're trying to take back the outpost, Toronto-Tokyo. And H2O just like, oh, I'm sorry for trying to take your outpost. I apologize, and he pays with his life for it.
The more the time passes, the easier it is for Betboom to deal with the split push potential of Navi. There's going to be an Aghanim Scepter in Toronto-Tokyo, so there's going to be rockets flying everywhere. You have this Boots of Travel on the Lash. Now he has the Blink as well, so he's going to be able to initiate. And you have multiple ways of initiation. Dragonite Blink Hex, Dragonite Blink Stun, Lash Blink Stun, and of course the Clockwork. So it is now much tougher for Navi to just go around the map that aggressively. And they found the Tusk.
Yeah, but he's got the 4 stuff down to the low ground. Sharpshooter still comes in, but he's going to be away. He's going to be fine. As, yeah, Navi now back on the back foot. But at least, okay, Vichun, he has that Satanic. He's brought up now. We're going to see Laise. He's got himself a Heaven Talbot as well. Going to be really nice if he can get on top of the Lina before the BKB comes out. Get that Heaven Talbot off. Stop the damage coming through from the right foot to secure.
How many 4 staffs are there on the side of Betboom? 2. Okay, that should be enough. And it pretty much is the 2 heroes that are afraid of the Sprout. I think GPK is going to be so deep in the enemy face that he doesn't care about it. And Dragonite is the one initiating. So you just don't want the Lina and the Clockwork unable to move. And they can use those on themselves. So I'm okay with it. Though I did expect the Hoodwink to maybe get it there somewhere there. Just to have the extra one in case you get caught off.
Yeah, I mean, Dave, as much as he has been caught out in this match, he's done a really good job of using the Sharpshooter to get over the ice shots. You know, he knows the limits of this hero, it seems like. You know, he is playing it to a really good level. That he knows where he can get that Sharpshooter off just to get out of danger, and where he needs to use it to, you know, maybe get a little bit more of an advantage in these fights.
They want to catch Vtune on the bottom lane. Let's see if he's going to be going for that one. He's going to see the Dragonite. Did they see the fireball on the bottom lane? If they were paying attention, they should be able to, but no pings coming out. So Navi, they don't know Vtune. You could still TP to the bottom lane. Not going to be happening.
Yeah, not sure where everyone else is on the side of Betboom, so they don't. He doesn't go out solo, because if he does get caught out, it's an absolute death sentence here for Vtune. And he's playing it sensibly. He's got himself the Trickster's Cloak as well, whether he wants to keep that or not. Gonna keep the Mindbreaker, it seems, going towards Melania for extra damage, the extra attack speed. Being able to drop I forget what it's called, the lightning shield, whatever it is. You know, I'll drop in Nicky Cool as well, because Nicky Cool wants to be in the middle of the fight, even maybe Laise, because he's going to be the initiation still here from the side of Navi. So being able to proc that off the Mars, it's going to be really nice for the Vtune just to be able to pick up.
And he also found the Witch Bane, which is amazing in terms of damage against both the Lina and the Lash. I have to scratch my previous opinion. I really like what DK went for with his item build. And with him having more opportunities to initiate, Navi are just feeling so scared because of the amount of lockdown he can do. And then Vtune, he cannot go for these split pushes. Because what's it going to be? 6.5 seconds that you're stunned if he gets on top of you? That's long enough for the Clockwork to TP in anywhere and just catch you with the hook shot. So no TP out for you. So this is actually working out quite well. You can see how afraid Vtune is just because of it.
Yeah, and Lina, that Aegis will be reclaimed, so Navi were able to wait that one out without any major aggression coming through from the side of Betboom. But Lina starting to catch, I can't even say catch, but actually still about 5k behind Vtune. What is it He's got an ultimate orb, this Eeu, but nothing else.
Yeah.
No, I'm pure, sorry.
Pure. Oh, okay. So, okay, he wants
Skadi. Okay. Yeah, he just had the one ultimate orb. He wasn't going for any other items. I was just like, what?
No reason for a Lincoln's. No reason for a Lincoln's on the Lina. Maybe you could see a Gleipnir, Mjolnir, but yeah, something else does make sense. He has a DD on the Lina, so you have to be very careful how you approach this fight. If you're Betboom, if this Lina doesn't die, he's gonna destroy you.
They might be able to get the jump out, don't know. Well, the LSA was stolen. They're about to go for TORONTOTOKYO. The arena comes out, and they get onto Pure. And again, Pure, he didn't get that BKB up, but now the Laguna Blade comes through, rips through laise. Nicky Cool, can he get himself away? The Hex is going to be there after the BKB. Really good engagement coming through from Navi, but they just couldn't do the damage in time to take down Pure. He turns around, he rips apart the Mars. They get the kill to Nicky Cool there as well, and that was Navi's engagement. Bichu, though, trying to do what he can with the right click.
Going in.
The BKB, he gets a kill to Pure, and now the telekinesis Nightfall. Can he get himself away? He has that BKB after the refresher, trying to keep it maybe for the second Dragonfall, but it's going to cost him his life.
Overly aggressive and they get punished this game. In particular, Betboom, they're not going to be timid as in the previous one when they're just looking at Betboom and not engaging. Just go on them. Just try to punish them. They're going to be able to do it. And save has been found as well. Okay, that's a really nice blink coming out of him. Should be able to get out of this one.
Yeah, he's got himself the... Oh, he's got the jab. He needs to keep himself up. What are you doing, Save? Just run. Run for your life.
Cowardly move. There's going to be level 25 on the Nature's Prophet. That changes things. That really does change things.
It's a sensible move. It's not cowardly. It's a sensible move.
You say so? That's what a coward would say anyways. But still, level 25 on the Nature's Prophet is something that changes the game quite a lot because you can move around the map with such speed that you're not going to be caught. Just leave the treants at one side of the map, leave the treants at the other side of the map, and that's going to be enough. And that's going to allow Navi now to have a lot more openings on the map. So despite the 13k gold lead, Navi now have a tool to prepare a really good fight for them, even without Betboom just stepping up like this.
Yeah, and the push coming out as well from that Nature's Wrath. He's using it just to apply the pressure onto Betboom. It looks like going back towards the Hex as well. And why do you need boots when you can teleport? Yeah, just get rid of the boots, buy yourself a Hex, and get even more control coming out in these fights.
He needs his courier to come back so he can finish that Mjolnir. It really looks weird when he's just having Hyperstone in his backpack, which would actually be a very valuable item for him. Also, you know, there might be some people that might not know, but Nature's Prophet level 25, you don't have a cooldown on your TP, and Nightfall in so much trouble. He's dead.
Yeah, he's straight up dead. 83 seconds. He doesn't
buyback
onto this Dragon Knight now. Over 1,000 gold away from it. They're even going to go onto the clock. Does GPK want to come into this fight though? He's in the middle of 5 heroes.
No man's land.
The BKB again is going to be going off sometime soon. GPK is just going to be cleaned up. And Navi, 2 heroes dead on the side of Betboom without buybacks. Even with the rocket flares coming through, Navi, they have an opening here. Roshan back up in less than a minute. And Vichun, where does he want to go with this? Does he want to step up onto this high ground, maybe put some pressure out with the treants? It looks like they're just going to back themselves away, take this outpost, and maybe wait for the next Roche.
Push out all the lanes now. You have the opportunity to do so. 50 seconds on the DK, 75 on this slash. Just make sure that the lanes are out pushed. So once they do come back, the Betboom don't have a play.
Yeah, and you can see that Nature's Prophet, he's using this Nature's Wrath off cooldown here. Just to push out the lanes. Oh, save. He's invisible, but the Hex comes out the right click. Even with the trouble though. Comes in though. Do they have the damage with the Laguna Blade? It was a trap to get the stun onto Lina. Lina here now as well with the telekinesis. Does he have the damage?
Nowhere to go
down.
Man, are they fast. Yeah. Man, we're there fast.
That's just... I mean, Pure stepping out without the rest of his team here. Trying to get the kill onto Vichun, but Vichun just turns it right around with the rotation coming in from swedenstrong. No way he survives through that, and this is going to be Alina down 75 seconds, no buyback. Roshan is up, but Navi, they can take a set of racks.
Almost a mistake from Betboom to use the glyph, but even if the tower falls and you use it, there is this 1 second of lingering that the glyph will get refreshed. But there's going to be 2 lanes of racks. Pure is not going to be there. Yep, no. They're pinging it out. Roche might be the safer move though.
Well, I mean, Nature's Prophet has to come back, push up this mid lane now as well. So Vichun, he's going to have the Nature's Wrath in 19 seconds as well. So we can use it to again push these lanes. They're going to TP into the Roche, but yeah, see it started up. Claim this Roche, which is going to be the Aghanim's Blessing here as well. And then just go straight back to pushing out the lanes.
the safer move is to go for the Roche, because the way that you lose this game now is you lose a fight, the enemies take Roche. But if there's no Roche to take, even if you lose a fight, Betboom don't have a clear way to come back into it. So this is a very nice one, of course, on top of the Aegis, all of that is quite nice. And also the Aghanims on the Nature's Prophet, that's even more lockdown that they're gonna have. This Nature's Prophet just rips apart the supports. They have nothing to deal with him. If he gets on top of him, they just die.
Yeah, and if he wants to, he can just buy out onto the Moonshard now as well. Give him that extra attack speed coming through. And V-Tune, what is he looking at? Just going to be into the river. Picks up the Illusion Rune to help push out.
Also the night vision, you know, it's not bad either. If you can have it, nighttime is approaching, so we'll see if he does go for it. But I still think buybacks are more important. If you lose a fight, it doesn't matter if you have an Aegis, but having a buyback can definitely help to put you in a better position.
GTK, they're going to try and make the move to get the jump here onto the Undying, but on the backlines, Nicky Cool can be in. It's actually inside the box here. They might not be able to get themselves out, so they might be able to get 2 quick picks on the side of Betboom, but laise, he gets a kill onto GPK. Nicky Cool, can he get himself away with the Trickster's bloke? He's looking to get that run, and he will be able to survive. So they do lose the Undying, but again, a really nice trade, and they've got the Nature's Prophet thrown out this Wrath of Nature that's got the, the Ensnare on the build now because of the Aghanim Scepter on the Entangled. So this is a really nice way to start the fights off, and then just jump in with the TP and claim another kill.
Definitely, but overall Betboom are not going to be too sad about that one. They're delaying the time on the Aegis, and they forced the cheese to be used as well. So overall, they are quite happy with the engagement. Despite losing GPK, he's the one that doesn't have a buyback, but it's the gold. So Navi don't necessarily know about this, so they won't be able to apply any more pressure. It's only that they're going to be increasing their gold lead, which at this point doesn't have to mean that much.
Nicky Cool, though, gotta be careful behind enemy lines like this. If you do get spotted out by any vision, which isn't there from Betboom, but he's not to know this as it looks like V-Tune. You're pushing out the lane. To get the kill, Snowball's gonna be there now as well. The down coming through onto Lina. Yeah, Lina with that Hex again. It just caught out of position. Now they might even be able to get the kill onto save. They do. Bringing up 2 heroes.
With his own spell.
Old overall, yeah.
It was with his own spell. Ever since the Nature's Prophet got level 25, everything changed. Everything changed. Betboom started making mistakes because you need to deal with the lanes, but you don't know if you're gonna be fast enough. And more times than not, they have been caught out by trying to push out. This move from Pure, I mean, it's a mistake, but you can't really blame him because Navi are everywhere.
Yeah, true. And from the back of this, V-Tune just going to be able to step up with his Sprouts, with his Treants, and look to push down a second lane of Rax. And this is going to go down. The Rocket player's trying to push out the bottom lane, able to stop the tier 2 tower from being pressured, but V-Tune, he's already in. He's already taken down the second lane and nothing to contest, especially with his Aegis still being up for the next 2 minutes.
Boom. They have 2 hexes. They have a refresher on the Dragonite. So if they get the right initiation, they can get the kills. Nicky Cool has been their target, and if he hadn't had the Trickster's Cloak, he would have died in the previous fight. Then we might have seen a different fight and a different game overall. But he did not die. He does have the Trickster's Cloak, and he's not easy to take down. Now even the cores of Betboom, they're gonna be contemplating: do I get Vision Nightfall? Just put that bracer in the backpack, get a dust, because this Tusky needs to die. Whoever you jump, if they get Snowball save, the fight is just straight up over.
Yeah, and you can see again the Dragonite Nightfall. He's just using the ultimate form to try and push out these lanes because the pressure from Navi, it is being applied. They're going to be able to go into this tier 2 tower now as well, clean up the last tier 2 tower of the game. And V-Tune, no way to engage on this. They don't know where the rest of the team are, so TORONTOTOKYO can't get that hook jump in. Nature's Prophet with the Satanic as well as the Aegis. He's got the BKB. It's a lot of save. It's a lot of sustain here on the side of Navi for V-Tune. And I'm just looking at the leader's items. Okay, he's got the Skadi, so extra stats, but he's got the Glepnir queued up. I really wish he'd have gone for a Satanic over the Skadi.
Yep, he wanted to be able to stand his ground against the Nature's Prophet. That's the idea. But yeah, the Satanic would make more sense, I think, as well, because it gives you more HP. not stats in particular, but you do have 2 lives basically, and considering that you're dealing with so much lockdown, you might actually survive on 300 400 HP and get yourself back in it. But he thought the Scotty was better. For now, it's not working out. I still think positioning is the main thing, but one thing we haven't discussed, man, look at the net worth of VTune. He's not really doubling the enemies, but he's close to it as well, and he wants the refresher. I have to say, I'd be okay with him getting the Aghanim shard. The slow is not to be underestimated, and the vision is always nice.
Yeah, and he's going to lose the Aegis now, going towards that refresh. He's not really going to be bothered, I don't think, about losing the Aegis. And again, he did trade out the boots because he can literally TP anywhere on the map anytime he needs to. Why does he even need to walk? Just TP from camp to camp finding this map.
I like the item that GPK is going for. It's going to be the Arcane Blink, allowing you to initiate even with your Split Earth. You jump in, you hack someone, and then the Split Earth will come out super fast. And you don't have to be afraid of missing that one, even if they're 4 staffs or something. And that should be able to get you closer to killing someone. Ideally, again, it's going to be Nicky Cool, but this definitely helps. Usually we see Leshraks go for the overwhelming Blink, but he understands it's not about the... it's not about jumping and slowing people, because they're gonna get out with 4 staffs and with the lift from you or the tusk save. You need to use that burst damage to cast all your spells as fast as possible, and the hero needs to die.
Yeah, and again, look at what Navi is doing. We talked about this Eastern European teams adapting to, we don't overdive. You know, we don't throw ourselves at the high ground to try and end the game. We wait for the next item times. We hang back. We wait for the next roach. You know, we don't overcommit here and potentially swing this fight in favor of Betboom. So VTune is hanging around as long as he can on this double damage rune in the river as well, just waiting to time this and get as much advantage out of it as he can. The smoke is going to be coming through, and it looks like Navi, they're completely taking the map away from Betboom. This is what Betboom have done to so many teams, and suddenly the game is being flipped on its head, and Betboom, it's like they're playing against their own game plan.
He's the Nature's Prophet, and VTune is very strong. He understands he shouldn't go for a straight up fight, but he's creating so much space, and Navi are coming in with smoke. They know exactly where Betboom are, but they're ready.
Yeah, and again, he's only just picked up the double damage room now as well. They're going to be able to get the jump on the dive, the takedown save, but he does have that buyback. Arena's going to be down, so they want to try and re-engage, because I don't think BKBs were used for either side for that. No, I'm just looking through. No BKB used for Nicky Cool or laise. Pure still has his. Yeah, GPK as well as Nightfall. No BKBs have been used.
This is a very calm and good decision coming out from Navi. They got the kill, they take down Division. You don't chase for more. You know, with the buyback on the Hoodwink, if you get yourself in a bad position where all of your heroes are being seen, you can lose the fight. But if you consistently play like this, get a kill, get Division down, push in the lanes. Get a kill, get Division down, push in the lanes. It's becoming even more claustrophobic for Betboom, and they are gonna eventually be forced into a mistake or into a all-in smoke, which is where you're gonna wait for them for that big fight. And speaking of big fights, Undying has level 20, so Tombstone on Death is there. With 2 Tombstones being protected by the arena, possibly 2 arenas if laise finishes off his refresher. It's gonna be a hard fight for Betboom, and then running circles around them is gonna be even easier because all of the vision that the zombies will be given.
Yeah, and he's not going to be too far off that full refresher as well here on the Mars. Just looking to pick up the gold, finding that farm, and again, not being contested onto this because there's no vision from the side of Betboom. Betboom are just hanging around at 5 in the base, making sure if anyone gets engaged on, the rest of the team are there to back them up. So they're just trying to complete free farm here, and it shouldn't be too far away. If you're the Mars, do you buy out for the refresher, or do you want to save that buyback as well?
Save buyback. You can see that all 10 heroes have a buyback. It's so important in 50+ minute games to have it, that no item right now is going to change. Every single hero on the map has its core items. One item that it was very cool what just happened, Nature's Prophet, he was thinking about buying the refresher, but he actually bought a Moon Shard and gave it to Nicky Cool. He's level 25, 12% chance Walrus Punch. If you have more attack speed, you can on top of the Lina, even with her BKB, a couple of hits there, and Pure is not going to be doing anything.
Yeah, look at this. Swedenstrong, he's in the pit. He sees Roche come up. This is going to be a really big Roche. The Rocket Flare will spot it out. So Betboom, they're looking for it. They're smoking out. They want to take this fight. They know this Roche is so important to the survivability on the rest of the game. But Pure with the Dragon Slave,
finding an angle.
That wraparound. Where's the beam going to come from? High ground TORONTOTOKYO is trying to look for the rocket flare, but it looks like the dive's going to come in now as well. TORONTOTOKYO Both BKB, the both get dropped inside the arena. Nicky Cool as well as laise. Gonna try and walk themselves over this. The backlines. It's gonna be a lot of damage. GPK. He takes down Swedenstrong. The Laguna Blade comes out now as well. He's has to take down laise. He's gonna be taken down here. He has to use that buyback. Yeah, 3 buybacks committed already until the end. H2O being caught out. He said they want to go on to B-Tune here. B-Tune hookshot comes in. They're gonna be able to control him now as well. Even with that lotus orb, they get the kill. Everybody on the side of Navi has to buy back. He's going to be taking himself right back into this. But again, Pure, well, he is going to be cleaning off the once. But now they're going to be able to come in fresh. Buybacks comes through from the side of Betboom as well. Both teams, blood. They want this Roche. But Navi, if they can keep Betboom outside of the base will be pushed into. So if they can delay long enough here, Betboom, they have to make a choice.
Oh man, this is so dangerous now for Navi. They used all of their buybacks, whereas on the side of Betboom, only 2 were used. But it doesn't matter. Like, if you start off the fight with the Lina kill, you have pretty much won this game. I'm not saying that the Dragonite and the Lash cannot clean up, but it is the main output of constant damage coming out from Betboom, doing 7,000 damage in that previous fight. Navi, they weren't ready for that fight. VG was too isolated, and then when he got jumped, he got lifted to the cliff by the Rubik. Like, I'm gonna save my guy, but that just leaves everyone else stranded, and he couldn't attack anyone important in that fight. So it's just a complete disaster. And Navi, they should have known Betboom were coming, but they thought maybe their enemies were scared. They were gonna stay in their base for a very long time. Betboom, they strike there. But Navi, they still have this ability to split push, so they can still choose their battles. And with V-Tune going to push in the bottom lane, Betboom are gonna have to be dealing with that, or they're gonna be dealing with mega creeps.
Yeah, and you can see that the trains, like you say, are starting to push in. Clockwork had to go back to base. He was completely out of mana. Both sides playing it so cautious now as well. They don't want to lose a single hero here. So Roche, for the minute, won't be contested. The Rocket Plus trying to push out double catapults in the wave now as well. But like you say, V-Tune, he's just looking to apply the pressure on the other side of the map. He does have that Wrath of Nature for the next 5 seconds here as well. So he's just going to be able to...
items.
I was going to say, yeah, he's completely over this support deal. You know, he wants to go full TORONTOTOKYO on the Clockwork carry.
The overclock inside of the cogs, you have 250 bonus attack speed, so you just smack someone down. If you get on top of the Nature's Prophet, who does not have a 4-step of his own, he's not going to move.
Yeah, the Bushwhack's not going to hit, but GPK, once they're coming in, telekinesis backlines, they got the gas. That's such a good setup now as well. They're going to be able to get on top of Swedenstrong. These are 3 heroes going to be going through here as V-Tune. He tries to go for that TP, but the hook shot from downtown comes in. And this is going to be a Roche over for Betboom. Did he even Roche? Did he just want to push in the lanes?
I thought they were just gonna go end the game. But they know this game is now over. You have 100 seconds with these heroes. Like a Lash that's level 25, okay, level 27, but you have the extra diabolic edict with the Lina and the Dragonite with this amount of farm. It's just insane. Before this fight started, I wanted to point out the Aeon discs. You remember yesterday when Betboom were missing this hero that can stand his ground? Well, again, that was the case. No one could really stand their ground. Now both Save and Nightfall can be the kind of the ones being initiated on, and they're still gonna be fine. And the only thing that is left in place here for Nicky Cool is for him to go for plays like this and maybe try to go for the throne.
Yeah, but there's going to be the dive in now as well from GPK. He finds out even Save going to be coming back with the Bushwhack. Rocket Plus getting involved, and they can just use the 2 heroes. 4 heroes dead on the side of Navi, and like you say, they can just move themselves right into this with the TP in from
what?
Pure?
That's
oh, he was just buying out. Okay. It's a little bit early to be fountain farming.
No, it's way too late, and it's way too risky to be fountain farming, Pure. Like, what the hell are you doing? That was weird. Yeah, that's so just wants to push this one as fast as possible, and this is gonna be everything falling down so quickly. Navi, they were so close. They don't want to call GG, but there's nothing they can do about it, really.
Yeah, and those 5 buybacks coming out around the road fight, it's like you say, there's nothing we can do about it. Surviving even, and H2O, he jumps and he just says, okay, complete this set. It's going to be GG, and it is going to be Betboom. Again, going to such a long game in game number 2. So they just have the stamina to see them out, take a really good fight against Navi, push it through 2-0 in the series.
Betboom have this one weakness that some of the